Caleb Williams waited, it seemed like, to the last second to process his papers. Was there anything going on?
No, I think his dad had some thoughts on how he thought this should work.
What do you mean?
I don't know. There was always chatter about, like, can we get ownership of a team and process? It's just a lot of stuff where it's like, yeah, the NFL doesn't
around
work
the
that
block
way.
a few days.
So they thought there was a leverage play in him.
I don't know.
In going pro.
His rumors are his dad said he wanted some sort of hand in a ownership of wherever Caleb was going, and that's why it took long to declare.
That's nuts.
I'm trying to figure this out. Like, it can't be just all chatter, because he did wait until the last possible day to declare for the NFL draft as an underclassman. So he was going to come back or he was going to stay. It's not just rumors, keep it 100, because you don't wait that long unless you're negotiating something, as if we've heard that he said, we want to make sure that Justin Fields is being traded before we declare. So that's why I say, if Cliff is going to interview, ironically enough, today in Chicago, Caleb declared the other day, like, what the hell's going on? Is this a telltale sign of what's happening in Chicago? Caleb, Cliff, all tied into one here with his dad.
Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah, I think so, honestly. I mean, the fact, I mean, it's not by accident that they're interviewing, Kingsbury. It's not by accident that Caleb waited this long to declare. Like, these things, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. And I think they were waiting to figure out some sort of clarity or get some information on the Bears situation or the coaching situation or Justin Fields. I think it was a few things they wanted to get clarity on before they made those decisions. And I just think now, in the world of NIL, I think it's like changed the minds of everybody, even parents obviously included, to where now, even when you're going to the NFL, like, it's all about like leverage now, right? And it's like, okay, everyone's hyping up this kid to be like the next great thing. The media members, people are saying like it would be crazy not to draft, Caleb Williams. So as the father, maybe he is really out here saying like, okay, well, we should try to get everything we can out of a team. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the bag is going to come with it because you're a quarterback, and getting drafted number one, that's going to come with it. But maybe he's trying to, I don't know, change the narrative. LeVar Ball was kind of that dad when he first came, when his kids were getting drafted with, LaMelo and all those guys. And it was a little extra at the time. But like, again, it's a leverage game. And I just think that I wouldn't be surprised if his dad was really trying to get some sort of ownership either for him or his son or both, because he understands that right now they have somewhat of power.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what is the motive of the dad? Is he supporting his pops, or is he supporting Caleb? Is he looking for something for him? Sometimes that's the case.
Edub, not to cut you off. Have you seen this yet? Have you faced this yet at the high school level? The dad that says, "Start my son, or else," or I want to work towards getting a bag, or any of that.
And I tell them to take their kid to a different high school.
Yeah,
I mean, I lose out of kids every year because I won't promise them jobs or varsity. You have to go earn it here and show me and show your teammates, and more so than that. So it's just it's a crazy dynamic. Whether it's true or not, Caleb's got his chance to write his story. He's making it a little difficult, some of the things that he's done, but it's you better understand the league that you're going into. It's a grown man ride or die. Like, you got guys that are providing for their families. Like, this is all they know. So if you're not putting in that same energy and effort to be the best with them, you're not going to last.
Yeah.
At what point, my point is, and Tank Johnson and the other people that come on here, we're like, where have we lost the humility of this thing, that the NFL is like a gift to the football gods, from the gods, and we are a beneficiary of that gift? Like, when are we going to get back to where, like, that was that was like bigger than life. Meeting an Eric Weddle for a seventh grader. E-Dub wins a Super Bowl and a seventh grader sees him in the store. That's like huge. Nowadays, I could DM Eric Weddle. He ain't shit. Like the social media world has changed the game. They think they can really talk to LeBron James on social media. So I think we've lost the luster or the like what it really means to make it. That one percenter. I don't think it matters anymore. It doesn't hold any weight anymore to these kids coming up, seeing it. They're like, it's whatever. There's TikTokers that are more famous. Right. So I don't care about playing this position. I don't even care about who played the position before me. Like these kids can't tell you who Eric Dickerson is and who Barry Sanders are. To me, that's a fundamental problem, man. I don't think the kid's ever going to – I don't think you can be great at anything. Writing and journalism, science. If you don't know who Albert Einstein is, I don't think you're going to be the greatest ever scientist. Like I just don't – I don't think that – I think it's something to it. And I don't think these kids really give a shit anymore. That's just the truth.
I think there's some truth to that. And, I try to – every so often, I try to tell my guys, I ask them who their favorite college football team is, who their NFL team, and, they start spouting off. And then I have kids that say, I don't have one. And then they say, well, I don't really watch football. And then that's how you get better. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Watch your position. I remember growing up, it was in the winter and spring when football season's done, it was KCal 9 watching the Lakers play. And then on Sundays and Monday night, I was sitting on the lap of my pops and watching football, whatever game was on. So that's what we did. But we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media. We didn't have video games. So to sit here and say, like, I wouldn't be doing that, I would probably be lying to you. But where is the direction? Where is the boundaries? That's what's lacking for these kids. And then now everyone thinks that they've been told since they were 8 years old that they're going to go to the NFL. That's what I want to do. And not understanding how hard it is to let alone get a scholarship than to go to the NFL. But no one's honest with these kids anymore. Like I get parents mad at me because there's nothing materializes with their kids. It's like your kid isn't good enough. Your kid isn't good enough to play Division III. So now the realization, I think, for some parents are that my kid's not going to do what I dreamed of having to do. And a lot of parents have a hard time with that. Like, that's why I try to tell my kids, like, there's great things that await. It's not just sports. It's not just this and that. It's whatever you want to do and go work hard for it because it's hard. It's hard. Like my son, as good as I think he is, it's going to be a 1 in 100,000 chance for him to get a scholarship. That's just the reality of it. You got to be that great. You got to stand out that much. You got to get great grades. You got to do all this other stuff for that to happen. So I just want to be real with everybody and say, like, be thankful that it does happen because it's very minimal when it does.
No doubt. Cole Beasley came out and has been on fire on Twitter and said, it's color on nails. He said, what's up with all these dudes painting their nails nowadays? That ain't it. And Kenny Stills came out. He's like, it's color on nails. That's like someone asking, what's up with all these dudes getting tattoos? And then Cole said, I disagree. Tattoos tell a story based on an image you get. Painted nails have no image. What exactly are you expressing? Because I can only think of one thing. People are coming out attacking his hair and all this shit. He's like, I disagree. Basically, he's like, apparently Jesus had long hair. He's going at it with folks. Is there any truth to drafting a kid now? And you got to play that role in the GM business for a minute. Is there any truth to that in the room? Like, hey, in the war rooms of these NFL franchises. Hey, man, I don't know if let's just say Bill Belichick was still the head coach at the Ravens. I don't know if Belichick wants a guy paints his nails. Is there any truth to that at all? I know I wouldn't. I know I'd have an issue. I'd tell my GM, listen, man, I need a guy that's going to carry us and be nutty Matthew Stafford, break his shoulder and play. Is there any truth to this at all as far as who we actually evaluate? Like, not just per se the nail thing, but just character, of course, everything that goes into this evaluation.
Yeah, I mean, It's so funny and comical, these things. Like I would 100% ask, why do you paint your nails?
Me too.
How does that, what does it mean? Is it meaningful to you? Please help me understand. I'm a little old school. Help me better understand you as a player, if I'm going to coach you, if we're going to draft you, just so I know. Are you serious about this game? Are you serious about being the best? Are you serious about being the face of our franchise? There's so oftentimes, and I've tried to tell GMs this, how to get through. Guys prep for months for these meetings. They know exactly what to say. They've been coached up how to talk, what to say, what not to say. So you gotta put them on their heels a little bit to get the truth out of them. And I respect the kids more for the truth than the fake facade that they all put up just because they want to try to get as high as possible. Like, you got to cut through that, because if you're going to get a guy that's not all in at that level, your franchise is doomed. Yeah. And there's nothing against that, but just for the sake of Sean Strickland, just say what he wants to say. How can anyone in the three major sports say what they really believe nowadays? Like, teams get killed when you hear, are you gay or not? Or, why do you paint your nails? Or do you, like, all these fringe questions? Like, it does matter, but it does matter. And you can't even ask those because of the fear of it getting leaked out. The player goes, like, recording head coaches in
meetings and stuff. Yeah.
And telling Dion, like, guys, are you not smart enough to know that they're probably going to do that? So, but why are you even worried about the other school? There's just so many different layers. And at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm an owner or I'm a GM of this team, I'm doing everything I can to make sure this kid is going to do everything he can to be the best and help the team win. And if not, then I'm not drafting them. But I'm going to go about it the right way. And I'm not saying anything's bad of painting your nails, or if you like guys or not, like, that's your thing, go ahead. But we need to know those types of things.
Yeah, I agree. You can't ask anything to find out if this is the guy that fits my mold anymore. Like, remember Gruden had that show where he'd bring you in and break down film with you and stuff like that?
Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, though, when you have these personnel questions. Like, I want to ask character questions. We're gonna do a background check anyway. Like, I get calls about what my kids did in 8th grade from NFL security when they're drafting a Jermaine Johnson or whoever. They're gonna, hey man, we got this ding that when he was in 8th grade. Do you know anything about it? I'm like, no, I don't know nothing about it. They're gonna background check you. The NFL security is former FBI agents. Like, they have legitimate people up there. They're gonna go through and look through all your stuff. So it's just interesting, man. It's just so PC nowadays. So it's tough to ask.
Well, I mean, people in the chat are like saying, like, it's just typical stuff. Like, you can't wear earrings because that means you're gay. It's like, that's not what I said. It's understanding the dynamic of a team, right, and understanding how you fit as an organization, as a coach, and as a general manager. So it's on you to make sure that fits. Now, the player, we don't care. Okay, I'm talking from a GM hat or an owner's hat, running a business. Okay, it's not all, you can't just have every waking life in a locker room. That's just not the case. So that people just don't understand that. So it's just understanding those decisions matter, those personalities matter. You got to make sure you get the right fit in the sense of how do you mold a great team. That's why great teams win. Great organizations do the right thing. So it's just I don't really care at the end of the day. You can paint whatever you want as a teammate if you're going to go give it your all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you look like, what you like to do in your bedroom. I don't care about none of that. I don't care what you look like, along with Coach Mayo and that whole fiasco. Like, I don't quite understand the point he's trying to make. Like, I get it. Smitty can attest to this more than anybody, but we all go through certain things. Like, I got told from day one that I ain't going to do nothing because I'm a white guy that plays football. Okay? So I've been against everybody.
In the secondary, to say the least.
So, but, and did I get called names? Yes. Did I get beat up? Yes. Out of the bus stop running home. Okay, so that stuff happens. So I just don't like it to be brought up in the setting of the locker room is so sacred, and those guys, like, I have so many best friends. I got more brothers and Mexicans that are in my circle than I do white guys. I feel more comfortable being around black people than I do white people. So to sit here and say and put these put these statements out there just because of the color of skin is just so ignorant and dumb that if people just get to know somebody and realize what they really are, then you're not even thinking about all the other negativity.